What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to 52. 52 videos, 52 weeks. Unfortunately, episode 2 is a couple of days late, and that is because the second week of January, my children's birthday is celebrated. Not just one, but both. Both were born in January, both around the same time, so it was a busy weekend, but we got the video up, and hopefully next episode I'll get it on time. So apologies that this video is late. Hopefully we won't have that problem again. But for the second video, I thought it'd be really cool to focus on something that I talk about a lot, and a lot of people kind of question it from time to time when it comes to me. Everybody has a favorite superhero. Everybody has their favorite thing out there, the favorite thing to do. And honestly, for me, both are kind of tied together. Growing up, I never truly enjoyed reading. Reading was my Achilles heel. I was great at math, great at every other subject, but my reading was horrendous. So, 1998, I walked into a comic shop and I bought a book. Now, while Superman at that time was not my favorite superhero yet, one of the things that I did love growing up was watching the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. And in 1996 or 7, they changed Superman fundamentally. And this is before we had computers and reviews and YouTube and everything. So we didn't have what we have nowadays where we talked about it. All we heard was stuff in the news or stuff that we found on these, up and coming websites. Back then the internet was brand new. So they changed Superman. They turned him into an electric blue. That's this guy here. You could barely see it, but you could see enough of it. They turned him into a new character, basically. They made him electric. His entire power set changed. When he was Clark Kent, he was more human now. He was able to get hurt. And it was a new Superman to walk into the new millennium. That didn't work out very well. So within 2 years, we had a mini-series or a mini storyline where Superman split into two, a red version and a blue version. And then ultimately, both of them made the sacrifice to save the world and went off in different directions in space, which led to the events of Superman Forever, where the original Superman came back. And me being a fan, at the time a fan of Superman, I wanted to go out and buy Superman Forever to show my support for the original Superman coming back. The original Superman returning to comic books. Because I always was a fan of the original Superman. I never liked the electric blue idea. I never was behind that. Until, of course, years later when it was just a phase. But that book would change my life forever. After reading Superman Forever, I was hooked. I started reading older books. I continued reading the newer books, the miniseries, Justice League, anything Superman was in, I was interested in. And all of a sudden, my reading went from below average to above average. My creativity, my writing, all of the inspirations for doing things came from that moment where I picked up a book to support a character coming back to his original form and fundamentally changing my life forever. There is so much I owe to Superman. I don't know why. And I don't know how it happened. Maybe it was fate. But that book just changed everything for me. And a lot of people will be like, well, Superman's overpowered. You've got the stuff where it's Hulk versus Superman, Goku versus Superman, all this fantasy stuff, whatever. And most of my friends don't like Superman, whether it be too Boy Scout, too good, too overpowered. Character is not something they're interested in, and it's totally understandable. DC tried to make Superman like Batman in the New 52, and we all know how wonderful that turned out. Took 5 years almost, and then we got rid of that. Superman just means so much to me. What he stands for, who he is as a person, it definitely left a impression on my life, and it definitely changed my ideals, who I was, and what I wanted to aspire to be like. And it even goes into making YouTube, reaching out, making a difference in people's lives. It all started in that moment back in 1998 when Superman Forever released. And ever since, it's just Superman has just been that character, my go-to. And I understand why people don't like him. Cool. For me, it's everything. And when something's done wrong to the character or crazy stuff's happened with the character, I am one of the most vocal because I love Superman the way he is. And as we move through time, obviously change will happen. Things change and evolve and follow the times and the trends. Totally cool. Totally agree. It's just when things go a little bit too screwy that I have a lot more to say about things. Let's leave it at that. But yet Superman also springboarded into my original channel, Dark Avenger C86, now known as Dark Avenger Media or the Dark Avenger brand. I mean, all of this started, my journey, my solo channel journey started because of Superman, because my solo channel is all about comic books, news, media, reviews, everything started because of Superman, because Superman was my gateway into reading. And it went from Superman to Ultimate Spider-Man to Avengers to Dark Avengers, because I called myself the Dark Avenger before I even knew there was a Dark Avenger book out there, to Wolverine, to Batman, to Justice League, as I mentioned before, to all these other books. Now, when I was a young child, I will admit, I did buy a few Spider-Man comics, because a lot of my friends were into Spider-Man. Venom was huge back in the early 90s. So I did touch on comic books before Superman Forever. I did have a handful of Spider-Man books, but it never held me. It never made me want to read beyond what I bought. It never brought me into the comic book realm. Superman just did that in one book. But everything that's come from Dark Avenger started from Superman Forever. If there was no Superman Forever, there probably wouldn't be a Dark Avenger. My channel would have been something else. Could have been some completely, it could have just been a gaming channel. Who knows? I might not be the same person because there were a lot of things that I took away from Superman, from his ideals, from who he was, what he represented. And that left a huge imprint on my life growing up as a kid. And it's led me to where I am today as an adult now. And that's why I love Superman, and that's what makes Superman super important to me. And I've always wanted to kind of share. I've shared my thoughts on Superman in the past and how he brought me into comics. But again, this is 52. This is me getting all of you to know me a bit better. So I figured what better way to repeat myself again for the third or fourth time about Superman. But I love Superman. I love comic books. And that hasn't changed. It's been nearly 30 years. 98, 2008, 2008, 2020, 2018. I don't know why I lost that for a second there. And once we get to 2028, we're at 30 years that I've been in comic books. And it's been a wonderful journey. I've loved, hated, ranted, cried, and just laughed at so many different points. It definitely is a huge piece of my life. My collecting, my love comes from comic books. And yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that for episode 2. Look forward to more. Again, if you'd like to ask me a question or if you'd like to hear me discuss something, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I would love to answer something if you're interested. And again, this is a growing channel, so I don't have high expectations just yet for a lot of people to come on and to have a bunch of comments yet. But the goal is to definitely grow this channel. And in the coming weeks, you're going to start seeing more videos apart from 52 that are going to be going up There's going to be some fun stuff on the way. I'm already testing out the new cameras I talked about last week. And once I get all the systems and how things work figured out, we're going to have new hardware for recording, for everything. And I'm looking forward to it. But till next time, thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to comment below, like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share this with your friends. Get them to come on board as well, because this journey is on the road to 52. Till next time, take care, y'all.